seat, whatever that means to you. If you are crossing your legs, maybe pull one a little bit further forward so they're not stacked. They don't have to be real tight up next to each other. You can sit with whatever your range of knee motion happens to be. We'll just lower our gaze or close our eyes and start to bring yourself into that state of near meditation. We'll start just by acknowledging that we have a body like last week. Do that however you feel comfortable. It's a very feminist idea that we have our own bodies. We're in control of them. They belong to us. And give yourself a little massage anywhere that might feel a little bit sore, stuck. Maybe you want to check in with your toes, see what they've been up to. Maybe your palms. Whatever you want to do here to just physically check in with the body and acknowledge its presence. It may sound like a silly thing, but a lot of people who suffer from neurodivergence sometimes see themselves as different from their bodies. Maybe their brain is them, or maybe they have a separate brain and a separate body. And then one day in yoga, it just clicked for me that my body is actually mine, and it was me. So it sounds like a silly thing, but it can be actually very monumental. If you have any sore, stuck spots here, you can imagine your inhales as bright white lights, the energy coming in through your nostrils and focusing on that sore spot. Go ahead and make that spine nice and tall. Pull up on that string coming out of the center of the head. Take a nice deep breath in with the lungs, all the way down to the diaphragm. And exhale out that air when you're ready. Do a couple more deep breaths like that. Let anything in your mind that's preoccupying you just melt away into the background. You don't have to worry about what you did today or what you're doing later, what to have for dinner, or what to have for breakfast. Mind is a blank slate. If you have trouble letting the mind relax, you can focus on something like your inhales and your exhales. You can count your inhales, either in length or number. You can say, I'm inhaling, I am exhaling. You can visualize that oxygen entering into the lungs and exhaling back out. Again, with the jaw, make sure you're not holding any tension there. Check in with your sit bones, glued to the ground, nice and stable. But no tension in the glutes themselves. Check in with your shoulders, make sure they're falling away from your ears. And go ahead and switch the crossing of your legs here. Put the opposite leg out front. Excuse me. And check in with the rest of the body. Are you standing nice and or sitting up nice and tall? Can you feel your ribs peeking out, or can you pop them back in? Melting those shoulders down. Hands can be hands can be on your knees and your lap, whatever's comfortable for you. like to set an intention for the class, now would be a good time to do so. Intention can be any part of the body you want to focus on. It can be your attitude in class. I recently took a flexibility class where I got to see myself in a giant mirror at the pole studio, and I realized how I don't center my body ever. So we're going to work on that for me. The other one thing I want to talk about is joy. See if you can find joy in any of your poses. And that can mean something as simple as acknowledging that you're doing the pose correctly, or that you're doing it to your best of your abilities. It can be letting yourself smile while you're breathing intensely. But just joy itself is subversive, so we're going to try to work it into everything we do. You're ready, you can lift your gaze or open your eyes. We'll stretch those knees out in front of us. Give your knees a little shake if you'd like. And we'll start with a nice gentle twist. So we'll bend that right knee in, hug it in nice and tight. Put that right knee on the opposite side of the left leg. Adjusting your hips so they're square to the front of the mat. From here, there's a tendency to really hug that knee in and round the shoulder. Resist that tendency. Just keep that knee where it's comfortable. Imagine you're making space on the outer. Spin around. We want to make space on this outer thigh between our sit bone and the knee. So can you imagine that sit bone going down and that knee moving in the opposite direction? Back is nice and tall. We're going to hook the opposite elbow onto the knee and twist to the back of the room. You can lean back if your spine is nice and tall. As long as your spine is straight, you can do whatever makes you comfortable for balancing. Pressing that foot into the mat, that right foot. Pressing that left elbow against the right knee. Pressing that sit bone into the mat. Both of them equally. Can you twist from the midsection? Inhaling on that top. Inhaling nice and tall. Excuse me. And then on your next exhale, we'll come back to the center. You can do a nice little counter twist to the opposite side. Maybe you can feel it in that lateral something fashion. When you're ready, we'll switch legs. So again, hugging that leg in nice and tight, resisting the urge to curl your back over it, placing that foot down where it's comfortable. Spine nice and tall. We'll feel that heaviness in both sit bones. Hook the opposite elbow to the knee and press against that knee with that elbow. Twisting to the back of the room, getting a nice long spine. Excuse me. Reaching the back of the room on that exhale, twisting on your inhale. Coming back to center on your next exhale, maybe doing a nice counter twist to the opposite side. From here, we'll release both knees out front, give them a little shake. Then flexing your feet, your knees can be bent as little or as much as possible here. Try not to overstretch them. Nice tall back. That fishing line pulling us up from the center of the head. Inhale the arms into the air and then exhale to fold forward. Hands can be on your shins, at your ankles, grabbing your feet, whatever's more comfortable for you. If you're not feeling the stretch in the back of the leg, put a little bend in the knee. See if you can fold forward a little bit deeper. You are feeling that stretch in the back of the knee. Sit up. When you're ready, we'll release up into a sit. We'll come to rest on our knees, center of the mat. Tops of the feet glued into the mat. You can rest your bum on your heels. Option to tuck your toes under here if you'd like that extra stretch. It might be really intense, so you can go just on the flats of your feet. Just a nice, comfortable seat. If you're at all uncomfortable or experiencing discomfort here, you can sit on a block between your feet. You can also just sit any way that is comfortable for you. All right. Turning here, we're gonna lift those arms up into the air. Come down into our nice bicep curls here. Make sure your shoulder and elbow are in a nice straight line. Your elbows aren't going back really far. They're not coming forward really far. In a nice 90-degree angle. Bring your hands up and do some nice wrist curl, both directions. Bring your hands out, all 5 fingers nice and stretched. We're just going to press the walls away from us. And inhale back up to our nice strong arms. You can make biceps here if you'd like. Pressing the wall away, trying to keep those fingertips up in the air. If not, bending the fingers or making fists is also acceptable. One more, pressing away of the wall. From our arms outstretched here, let's lift them back into the air. From here, we're going to take that right arm, to the ground. Stretch that opposite arm overhead. From here, check in with the body. Are you stretching from your ribs and your intercostals? Are you stretching from your arm here? If I asked you to stretch an inch further, could you move that arm out a little bit? Thumb is pointed towards the back of the room. And the weight is in the sit bone. So you are equal weight in those hips and reaching from the side here. Shine your chest to the ceiling. On your next inhale, we'll come back to the center. Releasing those shoulders down the back, stretching those arms into the sky. We'll reach to the other side, placing the hand down on the mat, reaching with your arms. This hip is even with the other. Sit bone diving into that heel. Stretching from those intercostal muscles, stretching from the side of the body. Finger pointed towards the back of the room. Option to shine that chest towards the ceiling. On your next inhale, we're going to come back to our center. We're going to press the wall away from us again. This time we're going to do our internal and external rotation of the arms. Try to keep your arms straight out and to your sides and not wing them back like I just did for no reason. Again, your fingertips can be bent, your hands can be straight. Just keep those wrists flexed. From here, we'll bring our arms out to the sides again, reach those fingertips in either direction. And we'll go ahead and take one arm across the chest, lower that shoulder down so it's not trying to eat your ear. Feeling that stretch in the outer arm here. Welcome to give it a little massage if that helps. This fingertips reaching in the opposite direction. On your next inhale, we'll bring that same arm up and back, pressing a gentle press on that elbow. We're reaching for that half bind if that's available to you. Just going to press on the elbow and check in with my ribs, which I can feel are poking out. On your next exhale, you can release both your arms back to the sides. We'll inhale them out to either end and then bring the opposite arm over for your stretch. Releasing that shoulder away from the ear, feeling that stretch in that outer bicep. Reaching in the opposite direction with your fingertips. Next inhale, we'll bring that elbow up and back. Gently press that hand down the back. Ready, you can release both your arms down to the side, give them a little shake. Give your hips a little shake from side to side. If you want to place your hands on the mat, give you a little bit more range of motion. When you're ready, we'll come to our tabletop pose at the front of the mat. Bringing those elbows underneath your shoulders. Option to bring a mat back behind your arm, your leg. We're gonna squeeze that block in the right leg. It can be a book, it can be a tennis ball, it can be a racquetball, whatever you want. It can be nothing. It can just be a nice right angle in the leg. We're gonna do 3 leg lifts. Inhaling the leg up, exhaling the leg down. Inhaling the leg up and exhaling the leg down. I did 4. And on your next inhale to lift that leg, we'll just do a 4 count of bounces in the air. 1, 2. The perfect time to check in with your hips. See if you've got nice equal weight in both your hips, both your arms. Then we'll drop that leg down. You can place your block or nothing in your opposite foot. Flex that foot. We'll bring that 90-degree angle into that knee. And we'll do 3 or 4 leg lifts on the opposite side. Inhaling to lift the leg and exhaling to drop it down. If you are worried that you are not equal and you have a set of blocks, you can always put another one on your low back. When you've had enough of those, we'll lift that leg in the air. We'll do a 4 count of just bouncing. And when you're ready, you can drop that leg down. Release the block from your calf. Start with our gentle cat-cow. Exhaling all the air out of your body. And your inhale will stretch that chest forward, even pulling it out of the shoulder girdle, like you're reaching back with your fingertips, but pulling forward with your chest. Dropping those udders down. Breathing here for a few minutes. Really pushing the ground away. And your next exhale will round into the back. Let's say my things are moved. Option to come up on your fingertips and to stretch those toes underneath you to come into a really drastic cat. Inhaling and exhaling here. Feeling the breath come in. Really pushing those shoulders out of the girdle in the opposite way. Opening up in those shoulder blades. Relaxing through the glutes and through the jaw. And a very dramatic inhale to come into cow pose. Bring your attention to your hips. A little shake out, left and right, back and forth. A little tilt and tuck. If we make a circle, we'll go both directions. And we're in our dramatic cow pose, pressing back to that dramatic cat pose. Give your hips a little shake here. Let them know they're safe, supported by the ground beneath you. And then inhaling to cat. Or sorry, cow. And exhaling to cat. And continue to do this movement at your own pace and your own breath. Linking the breath to the movement, warming up that spine. Ready, we'll come back to our tabletop pose. Nice neutral spine here, pressing into the ground with the hands. We are going to treat your back as though it were a jump rope. So we're going to go ahead and make giant circles with the spine. By going to the left and right, bending the arms is great. Gonna act like our spine is a big jump. Make sure we go both directions. When you're ready to come to stillness, we'll go ahead and reach that left arm up into the air for a nice gentle twist here. Option to take that left leg straight back behind you and swing it over to the right for a supported half plank. Yes. From your supported half plank, leave your arm where it is, nice and strong in the air, and then swing that leg back down to your back in a twist. Feeling that motion coming from that midsection. Exhaling back down, place that hand onto the mat. Opposite hand comes up for your twist. Bringing that same leg back and swinging it over for your supported half plank. Side plank, side plank. Leaving your arm where it is, swinging that foot back and feeling that twist coming into it from the opposite way. On your next exhale, you can come back to a tabletop pose. Just go ahead and shake your hips out from back and forth for a second. If you're comfortable, we'll come to stillness. Put those back toes under. We'll press into a downward facing dog. Pedaling your feet out here. Your feet can be as wide or as narrow as you'd like. Really feeling that pull on the back of the calf every time you reach that heel down to the ground. Ready to come to stillness, you can lift those heels into the air. Drop them back down onto the mat. Pressing the mat away from you with your hands, feeling those hip bones reaching towards the ceiling. You gently roll forward to plank here. Feeling nice and strong. Exhale, pressing back to downward facing dog. From here, we're going to take our right foot. We're not going to lift it into the air. We're going to slide it over to where the left foot is. Just place it down on the mat so you're kind of crossing your ankles. Then we're going to go ahead and twist those hips and slide that other foot back and come into wild child for rock star poses. Inhaling here. Exhaling to round back down. Your legs are going to cross again. And bring that right foot back to where it was. Back in your downward facing dog. This time we're going to lift that right leg into the air. Three-legged dog. Bend that knee to kick your bum and open up the hips here. On your next exhale, we'll straighten those hips back up And we'll bring that up left leg, over to where the right leg is. Cross at the ankles, spin yourself around, and lift yourself up to a wild child. Or like a rock star pose, whatever. Breathing here. Exhaling your hand back down, your legs will flop over to the proper direction and come back into your downward facing dog. From here, we're gonna roll into our plank pose. Pull those heels back in space. Tuck that tailbone under so you're in a nice long line. Feel those lower ab muscles wrap to the back of the body. Then we're gonna push back to downward facing dog. From here, I'm gonna have you hop or steps. You're gonna forward fold at the front of the mat. This fold can be luxurious. This fold can be mild. It can be however you want it to look. Your knees can be bent deeply or shallowly. Just imagine the top of your head being pulled down towards the ground and your feet being rooted into the mat. Each of those tiny tree roots growing out of the bottom of your feet, making you stable and secure and connected to the mat. And with your feet here, make sure you're not bringing your toes in or bringing your toes out too much. Nice straight feet, about hips width distance, 2 fists in between your hands or wherever's comfortable for you. A little bit wider than that. Your next inhale will gently roll up to stand, placing each vertebrae on top of the previous. Check in that your hips, knees, ankles, and shoulders are all in one line. From here, if you'd like to heel toe your feet a little wider, put a nice soft bend in your knee and just relax into your pelvis here. Think almost Ed Grimley, if you understand that reference. Bring your hands to the front of your hips here. Just give yourself a light little massage on that psoas muscle. It's connecting your groin to your legs and your body. Here we can also take those tiny little punches we had before and give ourselves a little punch on the abdomen, a little punch at the sides, a little punch on the bum. Maybe your hips. Remember to do a nice loose circle punch, circle fist for your kidneys if you're going to give those a little punch. Waking up all this energy, all the fascia on your body. Moving on to your chest, maybe your arms. Maybe your face and your neck and your head. Your shoulders. Move down your legs. Make sure you're gently folding and not rushing down. Go ahead and knock on the tops of your feet. Knock on the bottoms of your feet. From here, we'll just step into mountain pose at the front of the mat. Really gluing those feet into the ground, imagining those roots flowing from the bottom of the feet, attaching themselves to the mat and the ground underneath. Stack those knees and hips on top of your strong foundation. From here, we'll lift our arms up for Urdhva Hastasana. Come into your forward fold. Place your hands on your shins for a nice long flat back. Exhale, fold forward, plant your hands, step back, plank pose. You can go into your vinyasa and lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Come into a low cobra or upward facing dog and press back. Down dog. Nice deep breath here. And on your exhale, you can hop or step forward to your forward fold at the front of the mat. And here we'll place the hands on the shins for a nice long flat back. Slide it back down into that forward fold and then gently roll up, pressing those feet into the ground and coming into your standing pose, mountain pose. Give your hips a little shake out back and forth here. That feels nice to you. You're gonna lift those arms into the air for Urdhva Hastasana. Melt those shoulders down the back and pop those ribs back in. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, hands on shins. Exhale, fold forward, plant your hands, step back, plank pose. Go into your vinyasa or lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for low cobra or upward facing dog. On your exhale, pressing back to down dog. On your next exhale, we'll hop or step forward to a forward fold at the front of the mat. Place hands on shins for a nice long flat back. Exhale to fold forward and inhale to gently roll up to stand. Standing in your mountain pose, can you smile? You have a softness in your knees and a strength in the bottom of your feet. You're going to inhale the arms up here. Exhale, fold forward. Place your hands on your shins for your inhale. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to your plank pose. Lower through your vinyasa, lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for upward facing dog or low cobra, and exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Nice deep breath and down dog. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forward to your forward fold at the front of the mat. On your next inhale, we'll gently roll up to our standing pose. Getting a mountain pose at the front of the mat. Inhale the arms into the air, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, fold forward, plant your hands, step back, plank pose. Go ahead and run through your vinyasa, lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra or upward facing dog. And press back for down dog. Your next exhale, you can hop or step forward through a forward fold at the front of the mat. Your next inhale, you can place your hands on your shins. And exhale down to fold forward. Inhale to roll all the way back up. We'll do one more like that. Sun salutation. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. Inhale the arms into the air. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold forward. Uttanasana. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long, flat back. Exhale to fold forward. Plant your hands, step back to plank pose. On your next exhale, you can lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for low cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale to press back to down dog. Nice deep breath in downward facing dog. On your next exhale, slowly, slowly, slowly move your feet up the mat as though lifting your feet off the mat's impossible. So you can drag them by the top of the toes and make a step, and then drag their top of the toes and make a step. You might want to tent your hands. We're going to eventually come to a spot at the top of the mat where we are in our forward fold. From here, and place your hands on your shins and come into a nice gentle flat back. And then go ahead and roll forward so you're in that second really deep, oozy, gushy forward fold. That can mean maybe you're folded a little bit more. Maybe your knees are a little less bent. Maybe your hands get in on the action. You interlace your fingers behind your back or grab opposite elbow. Whatever you do, just luxuriate in this fold for a moment. Ready, gently, 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 as though you're moving through molasses. We're going to roll up to a standing pose so that each vertebrae rolls gently onto the next one. Come to your standing pose at the top of the mat. Give your knees a little shake, give your hips a little shake. From here, you can lift your legs out, maybe as far wide as the mat is. We'll just kind of do a little side to side swivel, leading with the hips, pulling from that side. You can even grab your pants if you like. Back to the center. Let's keep the knees stationary and see if we can just kind of move the hips back. Be an inch to one side and then the other can be a lot more. I want to move the entire half of my body like this, but I'm trying to just move the sides of it. From here, we're going to come into kind of our hula twist. If you're comfortable with your legs where they are, stay. If you'd like to heel toe them in a little closer, you certainly can. We're going to start just by tilting that pelvis forward, moving it to the left, and tilting it back, tucking it forward, and then to the right. Just going to make that nice diamond shape. Forward, to the side, back to the side. Make sure you make that diamond shape both directions, just loosening up. And then you can go ahead and move that diamond shape into a circle. You can experiment from getting those knees involved, really isolating the movement to just the hips. Make sure we go both directions, whatever you're playing with. Sure you make at least one giant circle involving the whole legs. Really stretch those sides of the hips, go in both directions. Maybe if you find a spot that's a little bit sore or stuck, you want to go stick around in that spot for a while. You feel all nice and loose in the hips here. We'll step the feet in if they aren't already stepped in. We're going to come into a chair pose. So your option here is to leave your feet wide or bring them all the way together with your ankles about an inch apart, whatever's more comfortable for you. We're going to start this chair pose with our arms in the air, a nice soft bend in the knee so we're not too tense. And the first thing we're going to do is just bend the knees. Bend the knees. Your butt will probably kind of want to duck out. Okay. So if your pelvis is kind of like out like this, it's duck butt, okay? So your butt's gonna want to duck butt out, but what you want to do is tilt that tailbone under so you have a nice round butt, like you're actually about to sit in a chair. So get that round butt, get those knees bent. I don't care where your hands are, they can be on your legs. You can put your whole chest on your legs, maybe that feels nice. Just about getting that round tuchus. From here, we're going to just come into our forward fold. Plant your hands, step back for plank pose. Lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra, upward facing dog. Press back to down dog. Inhaling that right leg into the air, three-legged dog. Exhale, kick your bum. Open those hips up. We're going to swing that foot forward. Help it if you need to. We're going to come, excuse me so much. We're going to come into a nice, sturdy, low lunge. We're actually going to take this back leg and we're going to kick it up about 12 inches. You can grab blocks if you are comfortable, if you want to do that. But we are going to lift the body up. Main goal right now is to have both legs, one's a little bit, that one can be straight. It'll make more sense when we lift our body up. Okay, so lift up like you're coming into warrior one. Your legs are a little off, right? We're in a nice high lunge. My heel is as close to being back, touching that as possible. If you're not touching it, you might want to come in like an inch or two. All right. From here, we're going to bend both our knees. Exhaling to bend the knee. Inhaling to come back up. You can do 3 to 5 of these, whatever's comfortable for you. And we'll come back to our kind of quasi-lunge position. This time we're going to bring that back foot back a little bit more, so we're more in our high lunge. Your arms can be in the air if you do not feel challenged by this pose. If you do feel challenged by this pose, your arms can be on your hands. Your arms can be on your legs, on your hips, whatever you'd like. All right, from here, we got that nice bend in that front knee. Just going to bend that back leg down. Again, do about 3 to 5 of these. This is difficult for you to balance like this, like me. You might want to grab onto your legs. I'm having a hard time not bending my front leg. All right. When you've had enough of that, you can kick that front leg back to meet the back, windmill your arms back on down, come into your downward dog. Roll forward to plank pose. Lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale so you're back in your down dog. Inhale that left leg into the air, three-legged dog. Bend your knee, heel to your bum, open up those hips. Exhale, swing that foot forward. Help it if you need to your nice, sturdy, low lunge. From here, we're going to kick that back foot up so we can get both heels onto the mat. Or if you're amazing at balancing, you can keep both heels up if you'd like. Lifting that body up. So we're in our modified high lunge. And we're going to start with just bending both knees. Do about 5 of these. Try to keep your legs on railroad tracks, nice and straight. You've done your 5 of those or so. You can kick that back foot back so you're more in your nice sturdy low lunge. Push back up into your high lunge. Trying to keep this knee bent at a 90-degree angle or so. We're going to bend that back knee and lift it up. Bend that back knee down and lift it up. About 5 times. When you've had enough of that, you'll come back into your high lunge. Bring your hands down to the mat. Press your legs back into your downward facing dog. And we'll roll forward to our plank pose. Lowering your knees. Chest and chin to the mat. And roll cobra. Upward facing dog. And press back to down dog. Shush. Take 3 breaths in down dog or child's pose. Whatever is most restful to you. All right. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forward. Turn the forward fold at the front of the mat. On your next inhale, we'll lift up into our mountain pose. All right. Do a few more similar to that. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. Nice straight. Hey, come on. Sorry. Nice. Everybody's breathing. Sorry. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. We're going to lift the arms up into Urdhva Hastasana. If you're comfortable coming in a chair pose with whatever foot position, get into that now. And then we're just going to lower the bum like before. Reaching that tailbone down, really rounding that butt. Exhale to fold forward. Plant your hands, step back, plank pose. Lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra, upward facing dog. Exhale to press back, downward facing dog. From here, we'll lift that right leg into the air, 3-legged dog. Exhale, bend that knee. Swing that foot forward, help it if you need to. From here, we'll rotate that back heel down, get a nice, sturdy right angle in that front knee. And from here, we'll press the legs away from us. We lift the body up. Hips are still square towards the front of the mat. From here, we'll lift those arms up in the air for warrior 1. On your next exhale, let's interlace the fingers back behind you and bring that shoulder down to your knee for humble warrior. Can you find joy in this pose? Can you smile? On your next inhale, we'll come back to our warrior 1. We'll exhale to frame that front foot, kick that front foot back, meet the back, plank pose. On your next exhale, you can lower your knees, chest, and chin, come into your vinyasa. Inhale up for upward facing dog or low cobra. And when you're ready to exhale back into a downward facing dog. Breathing in down dog. We're going to lift the left leg into the air. 3-legged dog. Exhale, bend the knee, swing that foot forward. Help it if you need to. Coming into your beautiful low lunge here, we're going to rotate that back heel down and lift the arms up for our warrior 1. Shoulders melt down the back. Nice sturdy right angle in that front knee. On your next exhale, we'll interlace the fingers back behind you, weird thumb on top. We're gonna bring that shoulder down to the knee. On your next inhale, we'll come back to our warrior one. Exhale to frame the front foot, kick that front foot back to meet the back. Downward facing dog. Rolling forward to plank pose. Lowering your knees. Chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for a low cobra or upward facing dog. And pressing back to down dog. 3 breaths in down dog or child's pose, whichever is more restful for you. On your next exhale, you'll hop or step forward through a forward fold at the front of the mat. On your next inhale, you can gently roll up to stand. So you're in a mountain pose at the front of the mat. From here, we'll lift the arms into the air, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale into any version of chair that's comfortable for you. Nice big inhale here. Exhale to fold forward. Plant your hands, step back. Plank pose. Lowering your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling for a low cobra, upward facing dog. And pressing back to down dog. Lifting your right leg into the air, 3-legged dog. Bending that knee, bringing that heel towards the bum. Opening up those hips. Rounding in the shoulder, bringing that foot forward, helping it if you need to. We're going to rotate that back heel down. Nice sturdy right angle in that front leg. Pushing the ground away. You want to come into warrior one. Exhale down. Humble your warrior. Inhale up for warrior one. Exhale out for warrior two. Experiment with your arms here. Do you want to tilt and internally rotate those arms to make sure that they're in a nice straight line here? Reach that forward, arm forward and back to reverse your warrior. Make sure there's a bend in that front knee. Here we'll give that front knee a rest. Come forward and down for triangle pose. Nice long line in those arms again. Here we're going to bend that front knee. Really feel the sensation of your arm being supported by a block of the ground while you bend that knee forward. We'll pop that forearm onto your calf, onto your thigh. And reach your arm over top. Here we'll windmill those arms down so we're in a wide-legged forward fold at the side of the mat. From here, you can bring your hands to your outer hips and give yourself a nice little massage there. Maybe bring those arms down to the back of the thighs. Hands down. And reach your hands back behind you for a little bit deeper stretch. Walk those fingertips over to one side. And then the other. Back to the center again. We'll adjust the feet, come back into our low lunge, kick that front foot back to meet the back for downward facing dog. Rolling forward to plank pose, lowering your knees, chest and chin to the mat, inhaling for a low cobra, upward facing dog, and pressing back to down dog. Lifting that left leg into the air, three-legged dog, bending that knee, opening those hips up, bringing that foot forward, helping it if you need to. Rotate that back foot down and we'll come into our warrior one on the left side. Exhale down to your humble warrior on the left side. Inhale back up to your warrior one. We'll exhale out to our warrior two. Again, you can play with internally and externally rotating your arms here. Lean forward and then back. Reverse your warrior, keeping that nice bend in the front knee. Straighten that front leg, we'll come forward and down for triangle pose. Here we'll bend that front knee and come into our side angle pose. Release your hands from your knee and walk your hands over so you're in your wide-legged forward fold again. This time we will heel toe those feet together. We'll come into a nice, gentle. Squat. We're gonna squat. Breathe here. Press those knees away with your elbows. Try to lift out of your hip girdle more than I am. On your next exhale, you can fold forward, lift legs in the air, and we'll come back to a downward facing dog on your mat. Rolling forward to plank, you can lower your knees, chest, and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra or upward facing dog, and press back to down dog. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forward to a forward fold at the front of the mat. Exhale all the air out, fold a little bit deeper. Just press yourself up into a stand. We'll come into our balancing poses now. If you'd like to come into tree pose, wake up the bottoms of those feet with your little fists are knocking. We're gonna imagine those roots reaching into the ground here. You can kickstand your heel to your ankle. You can place your foot against your calf, or you can bring your heel into your inner thigh, as long as your foot is not touching your knee. On your next inhale, you find a spot to stare at that can help you balance. Your arms can be at your sides, at your heart center, or branches blowing in the breeze. Then you can release your foot from your leg. You can bring your knee forward. You can stretch your foot out, maybe a little higher, maybe a little higher. And let it rest. Shake out that standing leg. Maybe give yourself a little massage on that outer muscle there. Placing that opposite foot into the ground. You're going to kickstand that heel against the ankle. Or place your foot against your calf. Or lift your heel into your thigh, realizing that bodies are different. You may not be able to do one thing on one side that you can do on the other. That's okay too. Your arms can be at your sides, at your heart center, or breeze, branches blowing in the breeze. If you fall out of it, no big deal. Meant to do that. And just come back in. When you're ready, you can bring that knee forward, kick your leg out, bring it a little higher, and bring it back down. Shake out that standing leg, maybe give yourself a little massage. We'll come back to standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. Inhale your arms up for Urdhva Hastasana. We'll exhale to fold forward. Go ahead and plant your hands, step back, plank pose. Lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra, upward facing dog. Press back to down dog. From here, we'll lift the right leg into the air, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend that knee. So this time, swing that shin forward. Make sure that back leg is nice and straight back behind you. Not going to the left or right. Lifting that chest into the air and then exhaling down. Pigeon pose. Next inhale, you can begin to lift your head and up your chest off the mat. And give your hips a little shake. And come into a tabletop pose on your mat. Put those toes under and lift yourself back up into downward facing dog. Optional vinyasa to roll forward to plank. Lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra, upward facing dog. Pressing back to down dog. Then we'll lift that left leg into the air, three-legged dog, bending that knee, scooping that shin forward, setting that back leg up nice and straight behind you, lifting your chest into the air, and then exhaling to fold forward. Next, inhale, you can lift your head, neck, and chest off the mat. You can position your legs underneath. Go ahead and come onto our bellies, and then roll onto your backs. Your feet can be the width of your mat. And then you can windshield wiper your knees back and forth for a minute. From here, we're going to come into a gentle inversion. If you have a block and you want to place it under your sacrum and lift your legs up, that's perfectly acceptable. You can just lift your legs up into the air. You can do a supported shoulder stand and lift your back up off the mat. Take some nice deep breaths. Your legs above your head and heart. You'll feel supported here. You can flex and the feet and point the toes. You could do some nice ankle rolls. Make sure you go both directions with your ankles. Then we can bring your feet to stillness. You can work on the internal and external rotation of the legs, keeping those feet flexed, keep it and having that movement come from the thigh, internally and externally rotating your legs. And when you're ready, you can remove whatever prop you may have. You can lower your legs to the mat. You can windshield wiper out those knees again. Then we'll come into your active bridges. So go ahead and just graze that heel with your finger. Your hands can be gripping the mat. You can also, if you have a block, you can put one in between your thighs here. It helps your balance. From here, if you'd like to go ahead and tuck your pelvis under and lift the rest of the spine off the mat. Option to interlace your hands behind your back and move those shoulder blades in tighter together. 3 to 5 good breaths here. On your next exhale, you can release your arms, release your back, release your spine back down to the mat. And remove your block if you have them. And windshield wiper up your knees, excuse me. The UPS man. All right. No, Trey, it's so horrible. We're gonna do 2 more bridges. Go ahead and tuck that tailbone under, lift those hips off the mat. You can interlace your hands behind your back if you'd like. Just take 3 to 5 good breaths here. On your next exhale, roll that spine back to the mat, windshield wiper out those knees one more time. When you're ready to come to stillness, you can lift that. You can tilt those hips under, lift, tuck those hips under, and lift your hips into the air, coming into your final active bridge pose. 3 to 5 good breaths here. When you're ready, you can release your hips, release your back, your spine back down to the mat. You can windshield wiper out your knees. We're gonna hug the right knee into the chest, extend the left leg down. You can let your leg rest on the mat. And we're just gonna take that right leg over to the left side of the body. Your right hip can come off the mat if you'd like. Your shoulders can remain on the mat, whatever's comfortable. Then we're going to return back to the center. We're going to bring that other knee in, release that right leg down, rest it on the mat. And we're just going to bring that leg over to the other side of the mat. You can let it rest on the ground. You can let it be supported by a block. Whatever. Here we're going to come back to the center again. This time we're going to hug both knees into the chest. And just let them drop to one side. Your arms can be stretched out to the sides. They can be in cartoon cactus arms. You can have your hand on your knees. Just coming into that last gentle twist. Your next inhale, bring those knees back to the center. And then exhale them down to the other side. Inhale, you can come back to the center. You can drop your legs and windshield wiper out your knees if you'd like. Bring those knees into the chest and give them a nice rock back and forth. From here, we can reach into your inner foot soles. Come into a happy baby. Your happy baby can be whatever makes you happy as a baby. You can work on bringing those knees into your armpits. You can try to tilt that pelvis back so your bum reaches towards the ground. Work on stretching out one leg at a time with your hands. Just rock back and forth like. Oh, do that. You can release your hands from your feet. You can give your knees one final windshield wiper back and forth. You can go ahead and come into your final resting pose, whatever that looks like for you. Stretching your arms out and your legs out. And just feel all the hard work you've done today seep into those muscles and bones as you drift away. Begin to bring your awareness back to your breath and start to make small movements in your fingers and toes. And roll onto one side using your arm as a pillow and take one breath in the fetal position. Using the same slow quality of movement, come up to a comfortable seat. Thank you so much for joining me today. Close with one Om. Bring your hands together for Om. Inhaling here. Oh.